Obviously, poker is a game where luck seems to be a common buzzword. Bad players depend on it. Even good players they think that it's important. But very good players realize that luck is not the most important thing. Luck is simply a manifestation of random events occurring. You get your money in as a 95% favorite. Your opponent has 2 outs left on the river, and those 2 outs are going to come sometimes. Not very often, of course, but sometimes.
David looking for a 6-ball. And he hit it! Oh, wow!
The difference between 100% and 95% is devastating sometimes. It can bring sane people, into the crazy house.
Greg's always been really moody, but it reached a point about a year ago where he had come out of this huge depression and all of a sudden just started to kind of like lose it.
One of the biggest changes I've ever gone through in my life was when I had my bipolar breakdown and I had to go to the hospital for it. Two weeks before I went to the hospital, I started staying up later and later. I wasn't hardly eating at all. I would go to my computer and just type thoughts as fast as I possibly could.
He would just type. He would sit on his computer and he would type for hours, all about his theories on anything and everything,
They dealt with politics, religion, the economy, global warfare, and just all sorts of goofy stuff that I didn't have an expert opinion on or anything, so it was just kind of me rambling.
He hadn't slept for days and he hadn't eaten for days, and he refused to get off his computer and was saying weird stuff, randomly would just say something where I would be like, well, that sounds a little off the wall.
Throughout the whole time, Aaron knows something's wrong. And I wasn't too concerned about her just because I feared for my life. I thought America was gonna end. I thought we were gonna get bombed or something.
One night I went to bed and said, if you don't sleep tonight and not go on your computer, then tomorrow we're gonna go to the hospital. And he said, oh yeah, I'll do that, just don't take me to the hospital. And so I went to sleep thinking that he would watch TV or do whatever he needed to do until he fell asleep. And then in the morning I'd wake up and, we could start to calm down a little bit. But I woke up in the morning and he was still typing away on his computer and he was like, we need to get out of town now. I was like, what are you talking about?
All of a sudden one day I told Aaron, we need to leave for Sweden. And we have to take a plane right now, and we're leaving right now.
There's just gonna be a fallout here, and everyone's gonna die, and I don't wanna tell you this because as soon as I tell you, then you're morally responsible, but you need to get on a plane with me right now, no questions asked, and if you don't, then I'm just gonna leave you.
And at this point, Aaron realized, there's a serious problem that we have to deal with right now.
It was really scary. It was a really scary situation.
It felt like I was in prison, and it was a really scary experience because, I didn't know if I was ever going to get out again or not because, you can't always trust exactly what they're saying when they're also, restraining you.
When I first went and saw him, it was kind of scary because he was so pale. And you could tell that he had slept a lot, which was good, but didn't look any better for it. And he just looked like a hurt little kid, like a scared kid.
The thing that really kept me going, though, throughout the whole hospitalization experience was just when is Erin gonna get here to visit me? And she visited me every open hour that there was, and she took off of work for about a week and a half just to spend time with me in the hospital. That basically like meant the world to me in there, because, you know, I thought if I was gonna be stuck there forever, once like Aaron stopped coming, I was like, that would be the time that I was like locked away forever and like lost all contact with people I know. So that was a really scary experience.
Callie, come on. Good girl.
Greg didn't go back to the computer right away. He definitely took time to think through whether or not poker was a good idea for him. There were a few weeks there where he really didn't even know if he should go back at all.
I started to, you know, get really upset because I had spent like the last like 3 or 4 years like building up a lot of my self-worth around the internet, and a lot of like all my hobbies around the internet almost. But it was like a constant debate, like, did poker cause my mental breakdown? And I couldn't decide if poker was like ultimately making me unhappy. As of right now, I decided that I'm still gonna play poker for a little while longer, but ultimately I don't think I'll play that much longer. Only a couple more years.
I do see a future with Greg. I don't know. I want to marry him. He's really unconventional, so the whole idea of marriage he's not really that for it, just because he feels like it's just a social convention. But I do see a future with him, and I don't know. I think he's gonna make a great dad.
If all goes according to plan, I'm gonna propose to her on her birthday in a week.
The only problem I have with these mysteries is they're so mysterious. And like a consumer, I've been thinking if I could just get a bit more than my 15 minutes of faith.
Do you think you would ever like do the math or whatever, like teaching?
That's a possibility.
You haven't really talked about it in a while.
Yeah, that probably won't happen.
I can just see you playing with your investments for the rest of your life.
And living like a bum.
And living like a bum, yeah.